The big story that we're tracking on NDTV is, of course, the Lakhimpur violence, but also questions over why the Uttar Pradesh government is blocking key opposition leaders from visiting the site of the violence. I'm joined by Satish Misra, who's a senior leader of the BSP, and he also, Misra ji, thank you for joining me. You also, Misra ji, I think were trying to go to Lakhimpur, and what happened?
Yes, I had decided to leave, and I, in fact, stepped out of my house at 11:30 day before yesterday in the night for going to Lakhimpur. But immediately I was stopped at my gate of my residence itself. About 100 policemen had gherowed my entire residence, and they said, the officer said that no, you will not be allowed to step out of your house. So I literally asked him, well, what is the problem? Where is there any order? He said, nothing, there's no written order, but we have instructions that we will not allow you to go to Lakhimpur because the law and order problem would be created. I said, how am I going to create a law and order problem? I'm just going there to meet the family members of the deceased and go and visit the place and see a site. So it's a right of the political parties and the leaders to go and see and try to understand what has actually happened. But he said, no, under no circumstances you will be allowed to leave out of your home. And they, in fact, blocked me for whole one day. And they in fact, said that until you get the orders of permitting you to go there, Lakhimpur, you cannot go to Lakhimpur.
And there were no written orders that they showed you?
No, I kept on asking them that, do you have any written orders? He said, no. No, it is only oral order which we have, and we have instructions. I said, from whom? So he did not disclose that. The officers could not disclose from whom the instructions were there. And ultimately, after about 1.5 hours, when I kept on insisting, I sat down. I said, no, I'll not go I have to go there unless you bring something. Then they brought a letter addressed to me and saying that from some police officials saying that because of the law and order problem in Lakhimpur, and so no political party, no person will be allowed to go there, and therefore you are not going to be allowed.
And any section was cited of the law? Any
no,
ground?
Nothing, no section, nothing, no provision of any of IPC or anything, and that was at 2:30 a.m. when up to 2:30 a.m. I was sitting. I said, if you have any orders, otherwise you let me go. And this is my fundamental right also. You can't stop a person from traveling one place to another. You can't stop me from coming out of my house. And there's nothing like...
Now, that was yesterday. Today, did you try to go to Lakhimpur? Are you allowed to go to Lakhimpur?
No, in fact, today also afternoon when I was coming out of my house, I had to even go to the court. The court had, there was a matter, the court said, how are you going to stop him from coming to the court? And not performing his duties inside the court also. But the court had fixed a particular case, an important case. So ultimately, they said, we will be allowing you to go to the court. You can go to the court, but please, you can't be allowed to go to the Lakhimpur.
So only you were allowed to the court. Now I want to ask you, Misra ji, because you've been practicing politics in UP for so many decades, have you ever seen crackdowns of this nature?
No, never. So many, we are seeing our own government also from 2007 and earlier also. It's almost not 20 years when I was Advocate General and in the government in 2002. Before that also, I've been seeing all this, but I've never seen a situation like this where you are hounded by policemen suddenly and your house is blocked from all sides. In fact, in fact, I said, why are you placing your police officers on the other side of the house? They said, no, because we have to block every exit and every entry. You cannot go out.
Okay, so you're saying this is unprecedented, but what do you make of the nature of this response by the Yogi government? What is the sensitivity you think? Is it because of the fact that you have a union minister there, whose son has become now one of the main accused? He's named in a murder FIR. The allegation is that, it was the son's cavalcade or the son's vehicle itself which crushed those farmers to death.
Hey, you are absolutely right. See, precisely, the background is now absolutely clear today at least. In fact, why they didn't want anybody to go there and why they are not wanting still, because of the involvement of the minister over there and in whose hands is the police. On the one hand, the state police is under the chief minister because he's the home minister of the state. And there he's the home minister of the country. So entire police is under their control. Now they, in fact, were propagating, which was being done. Unfortunate. It was really sad to see in some newspapers also headlines that there was the minister himself saying that they were extremists or they were terrorists. And in fact, they created the problem. Now, it was they thought that it will be hidden. But today the video has come out, which shows that these farmers, poor farmers, they were traveling back. And suddenly the jeep comes and it crashes on them. It takes away the farmers along with it and crushes them badly down. And then saying that persons have been killed by the farmers. Now, what has happened actually was hidden till yesterday, but now it is now all over, and people are seeing and then a different story was being built up as is they were the criminals. And the farmers, in fact, who were protesting last 10 months, we are protesting with them throughout in the parliament, outside the parliament also, against these black laws. But now if the protest is silent and only black flag is shown, will you crush them like this?
So that's
under the wheels?
Yeah, so that's the point. So I think the big question is, because you're a lawyer as well, that in a situation like this, there's been no action against both the minister who made a very provocative speech and the son who's named in a murder FIR. They are both out and about giving interviews. By all accounts, police has not questioned them. There's been no arrest so far.
See, the FIR also is not, we have not seen the FIR till now. We listening that the FIR has been lodged. Now, what allegations have been made in the FIR? What type of FIR it is? It is just to show that we have done something. We have lodged an FIR on which a final report may be lodged soon. It's only a cover-up story for the purpose of FIR because the media, now one of the media person has also died there, unfortunately. Now, if they are just trying to cover it, it is only for that reasons. In fact, otherwise, up till now, in other cases you have seen, people are dragged, they're thrown out, even encounters are done, bulldozing is done, but here no arrest even, like in Gorakhpur, no arrest till today. Over here also no arrest.
Okay, so very strong comments there by you, Mr. Misra, because I wanted to ask you about that, since we're now heading into election season, and generally the view has been that so far the BSP has not been as aggressive or combative. Your supporters, your people have not hit the streets in the same way as the other parties. We even see the Congress, Priyanka Gandhi at least managed to go much further before she was arrested or detained in Sitapur. Is that a valid allegation that BSP is somehow seen as being somewhat softer on the BJP?
That's absolutely incorrect. If you see the history of the BSP style of functioning has always been like this. In fact, the first of those persons who reached, in fact, at Lakhimpur with the farmers, our people were also there, and they in fact reached there first because the entire persons of Lakhimpur, our unit, and all those persons are there ever since then with them. I was not allowed to go there, but in fact, we don't believe like other parties in burning the buses or blocking the roads or railways.
Sure. But
so our style of functioning is a bit different. We have been opposing them right out throughout.
But Mayawati ji is not seen visible at all, only tweets.
See, you took the name of Srimati Priyanka Vadra. She is what she is. She is National General Secretary. I am also National General Secretary. Now, if we are on the field, we are going there. She is the national president. And if she goes to Lakhimpur herself, that will only make the point. That is not I am not being allowed to go out of my house to reach Lakhimpur. So she is the one who is under whose instructions I was going there, under whose directions I was going there. In fact, the entire unit of Lakhimpur is under her instructions, which are working there with the farmers today. Okay. And she's been working, monitoring things for almost 16 to 18 hours every day, and all other matters also.
You're talking of Mayawati ji. Right.
She'll be coming out. It's not, she'll be, when the position arises, when this situations would be there, or when it is decided that she should come into the field, because now if she comes out, they'll be blockaded by these persons straight away on the ground, several grounds, Corona, this, that, because she comes out, there'll be lakhs of people around her. So all those things have to be also looked into. We are, as I said, we don't take law into our own hands. But these are the persons who are breaking the law. and taking law into on their hands. And that is why other day I said it's a situation in UP now where there is no law. It's a breakdown of law, and therefore it's a situation where apt case where the president rule should be imposed.
Okay, that's a very strong statement coming from you.
Yes.
You're a president's rule.
You see the provisions of the Constitution of India. In fact, it's a situation like this. What happened in Gorakhpur? Police entering into the hotel room. You are sleeping in your room and they come and they kill you.
Right.
What happened in Lucknow?
Apple company who was killed in Gorakhpur.
Yes, an Apple company employee, and he was shot by the police officer. In fact, in Mahova, a person is shot by an IPS officer, and he's wanted for last 1 year, and he's not being arrested. So what is going on in UP?
Okay, all right. Strong words there, SC Misra, but thank you so much for joining us and talking to us on NDTV.
Nice to talk to you. Thank you.